Hello, hello, hello. Mm-hmm. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Mm-hmm. Well. Let me get this off real quick. Okay? I want to say, welcome to Sunshine Brown. Welcome. Welcome to Sunshine Brown. Welcome. My name is Dominique Brown. My name is Dominique Brown. Now, this is part 2. This is part 2. That's when I get on, you have someone call. I'm finally trying to drop a video because I have not been putting up any videos. I haven't been putting up any videos, okay? So, first of all, I want to start right here and say, Happy Father's Day, okay? Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the beautiful men. Oh my God. You're so amazing. You're so amazing, okay? A lot of you men actually hold up the walls, okay? I don't care what anybody say. We couldn't do anything without you. I don't know what they thought, you hear me? But we could not do anything without the men. Period, okay? We absolutely love you and appreciate you, okay? So even for the sisters or whomever that is, is not standing up saying it today, I want to let you know boldly, we love you. We appreciate you, okay? Yes, you're amazing. Stay amazing, okay? Teach others to be amazing, all right? We want to say thank you. Happy Father's Day. I hope you're relaxed. Put your feet up. Get to watch a good movie. You know what I mean? Be surrounded by loved ones, okay? Get to relax from, you get to relax from the cookout, if you're cooking, if you're preparing meals or whatever, you actually get to relax, all right? All right? Have a wonderful day, all right? So listen, I want to chime in today. So, if I said it on part 1, let me just reiterate again. So if you're new, you just come across this video, you may not connect with everything that I'm saying or whatever, of course, because this is a journey type of video, okay? Like, meaning some things happen, it's been a little journey, right? um it's been a journey, period, okay? Now, I am so looking right now to move on to other things, other projects, different things like that, okay? I want to let you know, any music you may hear in the background, I do not own the rights to it, okay? I don't own the rights to it. Let me say this again, okay? Any noise you may hear, okay? It's very busy where I am, okay? So please forgive me for any noises or anybody coming in and saying, just start talking to me, all right? Forgive me. So let me tap in. Let me tap in. Okay. So there's been this journey. There's been these attacks. There's been these being targeted, being all these things happening, right? But guess what? I survived it. Okay. And the way that I should have been probably taken out or whatever, it didn't go that way. It did it just didn't go, it could have been much worse, okay? It could have been much worse. So I'm going to let you know it was terrible. It has been terrible. But it could have been much worse. But you know what? God is almighty. Amen? God is almighty. And I don't care. I do not care what you do in life. You can pretend all you want. You can be like, oh my God, I'm, you can pretend all you want, right? You can pretend all you want, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Your life will reflect, and especially when you get in entanglements and things like that, things happen, like, you're being targeted and stuff like that. You the way God show up, in your life and how he protects you and how he allow other people and the angels and your ancestors and all that stuff to protect you, even the animals, honey, even the birds, even whatever, the flowers, the trees, all right, whatever he allows to protect you, um, will reflect also just who you are. Amen. It's real. It's real. It's real. No matter what they put on your name, no matter what they do to you, do you understand? No matter how many lies they tell, all right? The truth will always come out. It will always come out, all right? So anyway, let's keep going. Okay. So I'm here today. So, okay. So I have another page that I do not post on anymore. Okay. So this is my newer page. Welcome to Sunshine Brown. Welcome to Sunshine Brown. Welcome, Sunshine Brown. Welcome. Okay. Get that in. Okay. Go ahead and subscribe. Listen to this. The other, I always say page, y'all, I'm older. I always say page, okay? The other channel, okay, is Nikki Talk to Me with the Lips. Nikki Talk to Me with the Lips, okay? So that's the other one, all right? So I go over this thing about healing and all this good stuff. If anybody, want to go check those videos out, they can, over there, starting from the red eyeglasses with the bling on them, and then it goes the next video up, okay? I do this video where I'm talking about healing blonde hair, okay? And the different stages of healing, okay? And I just freestyled it, okay? But I covered everything in it, okay? From freestyling, okay? So when I show up and I chat with you, boo, 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 guess what? I don't have anything written out or whatever. I'm just freestyling. I do better talking from the heart, okay? However, I can switch it up and, do something from, just speaking from, what's written and all of that good stuff as well. But stay with me. Okay? So I'm showing up today and I'm looking, look, let me stop fidgeting. So I do this thing where I do better just jumping on the camera instead of trying to, get dressed to jump on the camera. I do better just saying, okay, look, let me just jump on the camera while it's on my mind before I go on to the next thing, okay? So here it is. I wanted to chat with you, and I also want to deal with this blockage that I'm dealing with right now. See, I'm so honest with myself. Oh, my God, I love me. I absolutely love me. Oh, my God, I'm so honest with myself. All right, so I'm dealing with this blockage right now. But I'm going to get this monkey off my back. Okay? So I can go on, all right? Now, let me share this with you. This journey that I'm currently on has so many things that takes place. And there are so many things that take place with your healing and how you heal, how you come out of it, right? And I am so proud of myself that I shared those things with you, okay? The reason I can sit here and say I'm so proud of myself, because I'm a person that in my past wouldn't talk about much of anything. Like anything that was personal. If it was something business, I would talk about business. But when you get into really personal things, I wouldn't do that, select few people that I would get into a personal conversation with about something, okay? And honestly, that's because I never felt like I could really do that, because you a lot of times when things are supposed to be business, you don't want to mix those two, right? You don't want to mix those two. You don't want to get personal and then busy, then you're trying to do it. Don't work that way, all right? So now, since I went through what I went through, I share with you guys. Hopefully it will help you, all right? Now, the thing is, when you're sharing your truth, that I notice, people are already set up to twist your truth or whatever. And the other thing too, you have to remember, people don't even hear information the same. They don't get the same anything, okay? I remember this, I never forget, years ago, we were in the conference room at the federal building where I worked, right? And my boss at the time did this project. So we did this like lunchbox thing, right? And we did a book club. Okay, so we all go in the conference room, and I'll never forget when he stood there and he had me. So he had the other ladies talk, the other managers talk, and then when it became my turn to speak, I never forget how I felt and the way he called me out. He said, Dominique, tell them why are you the favorite manager here? And I was caught off guard, right? I'm like, oh my God, please don't select me to say why I am the favorite manager here. I didn't know I was the favorite. You know what I mean? Like, please don't put that on me. Because if people put you on the spot like that, they don't know what you already dealing with, because you don't run and tell your bosses every single thing. They don't know you already feel like you got people jealous and all on BS and whatever. I'm like, don't put me on the spot, right? But he did. He did. And he asked me to explain, okay? This was a part of, the book club. First he started out with that, and I'm like, okay. And I think maybe he wanted other people to understand. He wanted other people to understand, what they looked like and why they were so petty and worried, or just being ridiculous, because this is true. Some people are on and have been on. They are such on a titles make them have power trips, you know? And it ain't that serious, because it's really about them numbers to getting that work done, right? So a power trip for a company you don't even own is not even, it makes no sense. You don't even own it. You know what I mean? You don't own it. You're an employee just like everybody else, especially if you're working for someone else. You know what I mean? Make the work, um, there's ways that you can be creative and make it exciting to get it finished. It's just a way. It's just the way that you do things, okay? It's just the way that you do things, okay? So my thing is, you know, there's ways, okay? But he put me on the spot is what he did. And guess what I did? I explained it, okay? I'm gonna mention this one part, that I'm gonna get into the other part of what I'm trying to explain, okay? And what I had mentioned is, I didn't harass people. I didn't harass them. I wanted them to understand that I had to have that work done, and I had to have it done right away, okay? That it was pressure to have it done right away, okay? And when they would go to lunch, honestly, I didn't make a big deal about them being, 5 minutes behind time, or what. I did not drive them crazy with that, because they were excellent and they got the work done before they even left. You understand? They got the majority of their work done, even more so, like, before they left, okay? And I knew while they were going to lunch, I'm going to be there. I'm going to man the post. Amen. I'm going to take care of it. All right. And that was a manager over customer service. Okay. Is what I did, because I'm great with people. I'm great with people. Duh. I'm great with people. All right. So, that's easy. And the other thing is, when you are dealing with people, if you're not in your ego and you're not worried about, oh, I'm the boss, I'm the this, I'm the manager, I'm this, I'm that, you can get more done, but just being a loving. Because guess what? All of the people that I was the manager of, guess what? That I was over, they were all older than I. So how dare? Well, there was a couple of them that were young, and they had their little drama. They felt like, everybody feel like I get away with things or whatever. That's a whole nother story. People feel like I get away with things, okay? They feel like I got away with stuff. And then, young people pull you in the office, be like, I feel like she's getting away with things. And you know what my boss said? Well, she can. Damn. I wasn't ready for that either. Well, she can. Wow. Be prepared for that. Be prepared for that. That's why I say go on the job, do your job, stay out of other things, do your job. Be amazing, be loving. You ain't even got to be loving. Let me take that out of there. You ain't even got to be loving, but be cordial. Do your job, Be helpful. That's the thing. Not loving necessarily, but be helpful. Be ready to jump in on some other things. If it's going to be something that speed up a tag, speed up something getting closed out or whatever. All right. Anyway, make a long story short. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Let me jump back here. So this book club and the lunch box lunches that we would have delivered. Okay, so here's this day. And I mean, had to be at least, it was less than 50 of us in this conference room. It was maybe less than 50. And what my boss did is had us go from one table in the front. He started with the first table of people lined up, in this conference room. So it was nothing but tables. You know how you're doing a conference yourself in a room? It looks like, or whatever you're doing, a presentation, however, and you have the tables lined up, elongated, right? So we're all sitting at these tables, and there were several tables, okay? And but he started from the very first person at the front table. He started from the very first person at the front table. And he whispered something. Oh my goodness. He whispered something in the person's ear. Okay? He whispered something in their ear. And he told them to repeat it to the next person. What he said. Okay? So they whispered, leaned over and whispered. And I'm thinking, like, what's going on up there? But okay. There's a method to this madness, obviously. Okay? So we're all chiming in, paying attention. And then it kept going, and he said, keep going with this. I want you to take what I'm saying and lean over and whisper it to the next person, and then to the next person, and just keep going with it. And he had everyone do that. So whatever the first person said, naturally mentioned it to the next person, and it just kept going on and on and on. And I'm saying it was just short of 50 people in this room, just short of 50 people, okay? So it kept going and going and going, all right? And here it is. I am, I don't know where I was, but I was toward, I made sure I was in the back. I believe that's what that was. I made sure that I was in the back, so all the other people could have a seat. So by the time we get to some of the last people, he said, now tell me what she just told you. Or he just told you, whoever it was at the end. He had them stand up and say what was said. Guess what? Whatever it was said originally from the first person, this was totally different. This was totally different. As a matter of fact, it didn't even match. Not even one word was similar. The whole thing was all wrong. Are you listening to me? The entire thing is all wrong, okay? And I'm not going to keep it because I have to go. My family is waiting on me, all right? So it was totally wrong. Okay? What he was trying to display to us is about gossip. Gossip. And things like that. One person may hear something, but by the time they share it with another person, it's all misconstrued. It's not even the correct information. It has nothing to do with anything or whatever. And that's why you should not get into rumors, other people's drama and things like that, so much where you're invested in it. Okay? That's what that lesson was. Like, you would be crazy. And actually, we were shocked because nothing even coming through the middle. Like, the people in the middle was like, no, we didn't get any of that. So that's how far the truth was lost. Amen? That's how far it was lost. Okay? So let me keep going. Let me keep going, y'all. Let me keep going. Okay, so listen. Now, let me talk about this slight blockage that I have had. All right? Which I'm going to get this monkey off my back. Okay? I got about, 6 minutes? Let me try to see if I can do it in about 6 minutes. Okay? I'm going to deal with something about, now this is another part that I'm going to add to this healing. Okay? First of all, if on one of the recent videos I shared with how there are stages to healing. Okay? How there are stages, how sometimes you may have to, on your journey, go back and deal with people that you've already survived from. Okay? That you've already survived. You be like, okay, I already healed. I got that person. I don't deal with that person up close or those people up close or whatever for great reasons, okay? But however, something may happen in life and you have to go back and visit those people, be in front of those people. Something may happen where that does happen, okay? And I'm going to share with you something. God does things and allow things for certain reasons. And sometimes when you're in it, you will not understand. As a matter of fact, I don't even try to force myself to understand it anymore because I notice on this journey, some things you will have to learn to go with the flow. Okay? This is what I notice. Some things you will learn to go with the flow, okay? And understand that God always have you. If God says that he have you and whatever he promised to you, and God knows you're in your right mind and you understand and you try to live an upright life, you know what I mean? Guess what? Guess what? You better believe, God is going to be with you and God will stay with you, okay? Especially like this one serious thing that a lot of people are slipping on. I don't care what you do, what you went to school for. I don't care how much you try to be some type of way. I don't care what you put up in your mind that you are or what you accomplished or however. Guess what? God really judge us on how we treat each other. I'm telling you, he looks at the way we love our brothers and sisters. We forgive, things like that, okay? We forgive, all of those type of things, okay? And that's a part of healing. You have to forgive, okay? Now that don't mean you have to be all lost and stupid, okay? That's not what that means. That's not what that means, okay? Sometimes, and see, that's why I'm going to get this monkey off my back today because I'm about to go into another part, which I've already been working on that. That's why I'm so jovial and happy and excited and, okay? Because it keeps going. Get that monkey off your back and keep going, all right? So you can continue to be good to yourself and continue to be good to others. Amen? All right? So I do this thing where I get it off of me. Amen? Okay, so here it is. So, there's some changes that came up, right? And it required, I had to go into some spaces that I did not want to go into, right? I saw originally, but I knew that I had to because, it's not just myself. I have children, okay? So it was me by myself. God knows, just imagine a lot of parents or whomever, or you're not a parent. It's just you and you're not a stick and move by yourself, oh my God, that makes it easier, right? But when you have kids and things like that, you have to consider them, their feelings, their safety, all that stuff when you're making decisions to do things, right? Right? If I'm talking a little fast, please excuse me, all right? So here it is. I had to go back into some spaces, meaning I had to call a person up and say, hey, I need your help. I really need your help. Boop, boop, boop. I did this. They said they're going to call me in 48 hours. Boop, boop, boop. We took care of all the measures that we were supposed to take care of to receive this help and to move in a certain way, right? Okay. So anyway, the person agreed to do so, okay? Like, okay, come on, whatever. But let me tell you about this nightmare. Let me tell you about this nightmare, okay? A whole nightmare. A whole nightmare. A whole nightmare, okay? So my thing is, when you do something for someone, you do it with your whole heart, meaning you do it and you mean what you're doing, okay? Even if you don't want to and you agree to, understand if they're respectful, they're not in your space around you bothering you. Listen to me, listen to what I'm saying. They're away from you, okay? Meaning they're not near you at all, okay? And you say that you're going to do something, then that's what you should do. If you're do what you say you're going to do. If they're doing what they said they were going to do, you do what you said you would do. Especially if there is already a short window and there's an exit date already established. You understand? Now, let me tell you why I'm talking about this other part of healing, okay? Now, if a person is already gang stalking you, and see, God has a way of doing things, I'm telling you. If you're a person that has went and lied on someone, and you've always had these hateful feelings towards someone, if God knows, if you always had gang stalk someone, you always had hateful feelings towards someone, God will probably somehow, and you're fooling people in the community, you're out there fooling people, God will make sure that you have to deal with them people, maybe perhaps up close. And you think what you're doing is for them, but it's for you too. He will allow you to have to deal with those people up close. And you think that you're doing something and you don't know. God is watching really how you're moving and how you're handling things, okay? He's watching what you're doing. Now, let me tell you about, and people will say, well, why you bring God into it? It was the. But let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because years ago, you're the one who started sitting in those meetings, right? Saying, oh, this person's, I think they're crazy. I think and nobody's following them. Nobody's doing this. You were that person. And you're the person that's in the traffic gang stalking as well. And you've been doing it for a very long time. Okay? And then someone has to come and live with you for a short period of time, for a couple of days. And you can't take it. But you could take helping to tear their life down. But if they have to come and stay in your house temporarily, you can't take it. You can't take it. I'm coming on here and saying, before our place was ready, let me tell you, and it's a reason I'm sharing this. I want people to be careful out here because this thing is bigger than what they think. I've actually witnessed grown people working very hard, but I mean, you don't have to do anything to them. Working very hard to sabotage other people's lives, lying. I watched grown people running out on a porch, gossiping on their phone as if something was going on in the house. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm telling you, please listen to me. I'm talking about grown people getting on the phone, having conversations, having arguments out loud in front of people in the neighborhood as if there was an argument going on. I was so confused. And naturally, if you're in the place of need, right? You feel like you're in need, you got your kids, you're trying to get something done. You're not going to stand up there and be crazy enough to argue with them people about what they've been doing their whole life. Right? You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that at all. I mean, this person had even teamed up with my enemies. Do you understand? And I've been knowing you since, 15 years old? And you know that I've always been about my business. You know that I've always taken care of stuff. I jumped off the porch way before your son jumped off the porch. And he was older than me. Okay? You know this. You know how I actually separated from my family back in the day. You paid for the rental for me to get out of town. You know me. And you even know I was working back then. You know about my stepfather making me leave my job. You know you the one paid for the rental. Let me go there. I'm trying to break it down. I don't know what these places, like this place, which they don't share with people, this place is the mental health capital in Ohio. Okay? People have very serious mental issues and shit that they don't deal with. And what they do is they play patty cake on this shit. Okay? Because this is how they make their money. But in reality, people really need to help people deal with their real shit. Okay? Because they're burning down the communities. Well, all these older people especially keeping up shit in the streets. Okay? I watched this lady invite her daughter over to act as if there was an issue. When her daughter would come over, she would act like there had been an issue. And there had been no issue at all. Nobody having any mood swings. Nobody doing anything. Nothing. But she would wait till her daughter came over and cause all of this stuff. Meaning they were out in the community lying to people. Lies. I'm trying to figure out why all these ugly people are getting together doing all these lies. In disbelief. And then the reason I got on to talk about this is the way that you were trying to provoke me. I mean, people that go to church, these are some of the first bitches that run in church. Oh my God. Y'all lucky I'm not a bishop of a church, because I would deal with all of you. I would deal with you. I would deal with you. I would not let you play with my members. I would not let you play. I would not let you play. I would not let you burn my church down. I would not let you run my people off, because I know this is what you witches do. I witnessed people sitting right before me trying to play mental games with me. They were trying to provoke me to get really angry. Not just me, my daughters. Even my young son said, what in the world is going on? But this is the behavior of people trying to set people up and lie. I've seen it all. At this point, and this is the thing. What were you telling people? No one wanted to be there longer than they were going to be, and the date was already established. I'm getting this monkey off my back. You were actually making up lies. And I had to let you because of the situation, the way that I felt, and you knew that I wasn't going to argue with you. You knew this. You invited your family members over? For what? There was no ruckus. No one had attitude. Nothing. Nothing was nothing. Kids were happy, took advantage of the yard. You see that my family loved being out. They probably have taken more advantage of a beautiful backyard like they have in their past, right? More than any grandkids that ever come to your home. Let me tell you. People really need to be safe. Because people are really playing games with people's lives. Okay? They have control issues. They have control issues. They talk about people badly, but they never deal with their own inner stuff. Okay? They never deal with their own inner things. Like if they allow their children to get raped, they fucking never go and bring that shit up. They never talk about it. They don't ever tell their personal business. They out there trying to drag your name through the mud. Breaking your neck, taking my daughter to all them free places, knowing that she had what she needed to go to where she needed to go. Like you were trying to do some kind of humiliation shit on my family. That's what you were doing. And then somebody told you they would give you $100,000 if you did what? If you took us out to a hotel, switched our hotel that we were going to, and take us out to a Motel 6. And y'all were all trying to have control of where I was going to what? What? I don't know what you thought you were doing. None of it worked in your favor. And then when I show up where I am, you're talking about, I know all the people that work there. You see some of these people gone too, right? Just that quick. Playing games with people's lives, as old as you are. I would think you have enough going on in your personal family that you wouldn't want to be any uglier than you are. You made a whole scene in front of your neighbors. on the porch gossiping on the phone as if something was going on. And I would never disrespect you or anything because I'm not that kind of person. But you felt good about trying to torment me. I have so much I'm going to talk about. I have people that, have done a lot and a lot of lies. And, people don't know the real from the fake. They don't know. A lot of times people don't know. A lot of times when people feel like you're older and people respect you, they think you're telling the truth. And you are the farthest thing from telling the truth. You are jealous. You are hateful. You keep up shit. And this is the thing on a person's worst day. Even if I dislike them, I would not make up lies on them. Why would I do that? Why would you make up lies on a person? But this is how people get down. This is how people get down. I'm making this video because you made my kids even feel some type of way. You really did. Like, you wouldn't even, But you're a person about control. You like to control people's lives. You like to control what people eat. You like to control everything. But and you said it yourself. You do suffer from having control issues. Okay? Control is one thing, but to actually make up lies, like if you have that thing and you admit it, okay, great. I get that. But to make up lies on people, like, do you know what I just went through? A whole smear campaign, hate campaign, all these different things. I went through some shit. And for me to be at one of my last stops, and for you to do that to my children and wow. And then to believe that I really wanted to be where I was. I said, wow, you're crazy. You are crazy. Now, I'm going to tell you a fact. When you felt some type of way and your two best girlfriends in the past passed away and they wouldn't even tell you that they were sick, I know why they wouldn't tell you. You gossip and you lie and you spread people's shit, but you don't even do it correctly. People are supposed to be your best friend. They're supposed to be able to come to you and say, hey, just like when I made that phone call. And you were kind enough to allow us to come. But what you did was, since you were already on that timeline, you got with my enemies to try to even more so destroy my life and have me in some kind of way. And what did I tell you at your table? I said, you know what? I hear what you're saying, but guess what? That don't affect me like that. It's not going to bother me like that, because I've had people come for me. People come for me to torment me, and you were included. All of y'all were included. And you want me to hold my head down low between what you want me to do? Hold my head down low between my ass? It's not going to happen. And the thing is, you should know that. I didn't move back there even from as a teen or a younger person. I didn't move like that. This is why it's so important, And the things that you have done are really bothering you. I know they are. You dap with all the community. We know. Donate to everything. You donate to everything. People love that, but people think you're a good person because you do that. People think that you're such a good person because you do, but you are a monster, and you do those things to hide it. You your own type of monster. Like, how you think that was going to go for you to show up in my son's baby shower, and I'm in the same house with you. You show up to my son's baby shower without me. It was only for so many days. I'm talking about real things. I'm talking about real things. Things that people will feel some type of way about sharing. Oh, but I'm going to share it. You lied. You lied. You play games. You play head games. You try to give people psychic attacks. You tried to torment me. You tried. You tried. You tried. Your daughter actually said that she wanted to put her hands on me. And here I am just sitting at the table waiting on my Uber or my son to pick me up. And you did all of that. I'm just sitting at the table and she's like, boy, I have to fight you. No ruckus is going on. Even my daughters, my children didn't say anything. Rude, nothing at all. Then you had your brother who I've been knowing forever come in and talk to me really crazy. That's what you guys did to me. And I'm going to tell you something. People will always remember the way you treated them. People will always remember the way you treated them. And the beautiful thing is, you can never say that I talked to you crazy, disrespected you, yelled at you, called you out your name. You can never, ever say that I've done that. And guess what? I'm glad I did not. I'm glad that I did not. You are a nightmare. And I pray that you get the professional help that you need. And quit holding all them secrets that you hold. Yes. Now, I feel so much better that I got that off my chest so I can move forward. All right? I'm not letting people play in my face. No, not doing it. Nope, not carrying those kind of matters of the heart. No. Now, I can say more, but I'm not going to do that because that's enough. That's enough. See, I didn't want to destroy you, but you need to know you out there putting lies out. And guess what? Many people knew you were lying. Many people knew that you were lying. I'm just trying to figure out who does that. Who sits there and damn, you like to see but that's the thing though. Playing with people that you don't like. That's why you should be honest. I don't like you. And let that be that. I don't like you. You don't have to make anything up with it. I don't like you. You don't have to get and play games and try to cause them to go to prison. You wanted me to go to prison. The stuff that you did, and then having your daughter come around with that. Hey, all y'all people rub elbows with people in the community, and they don't know how y'all really are. And your sister lied. She was telling people that I was saying things that I never said from you, because she never heard me say anything from you. And y'all were actually lying to your sons. Things that never happened. And there were some people that said, Dominique would never do that. Why are y'all lying? Some people would know. People be careful out here. People be careful out here because people are very tricky. People, they don't, let me tell you something. They could be family. They could be family-like, or whatever. People move very tricky. Even when they know that you're going through something and whatever, you think they will be sophisticated enough or just mature enough to be able in their mind to handle, coming up, doing the right thing or whatever. But those people are not. Some of those people, they are, you wouldn't believe. My God, it's worse than you think too. We have some very immature, grown people. And the thing is, they always running in the church. And they always pretending that they're such good people. No. You don't play games with people's lives. I just don't see that. What I ask someone to do for me, I've done it for other people. I've done it for other people. My daughter has had people that she was concerned about. And I said, come on, let them come on. They can come on, right? But I knew that we all had a date. We all had a date, okay? And guess what? I made sure that they whatever they were going to do, it was going to go smoothly to help them get on their way. And that's what I did. But we already had a date. We already had things scheduled. So it didn't have to be that way. It did not have to be that way. I want to say more. I want to say more. You should have been one of them people that walked in my stuff. You know, you should have been one of the people. You would have known I didn't want to be there. That I'm just going through to protect my children. Amen. That's it. I'm gonna have to deal with some things because I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. I'm not letting anything trap me. You know, I'm gonna deal with these hateful ass, other people. Because people don't know the true stories, how people will comfort you and stuff, and they don't know the secrets. They don't know that them people very angry because they got AIDS. They have AIDS, and then they call themselves mistreating you and laughing. I'm going to put everybody's shit out. They keep fucking with me. I'm going to put everybody's shit out because I done got a little tired, especially when it's involving my kids, and then you're not sorry and you keep doing the same thing. Keep playing with me. Keep playing with me. Oh, yes. Thank you.